Welcome to the Divine Light Within You Spiritual Wellness Center. How you guys doing today? My name is Yolanda, and I am happy to help you in your beautiful spiritual journey. Before we get into the scope of the Wellness Center, I want to give you a little overview about me and my spiritual journey. Now, my journey started when I was young, and I received a visit from these beautiful beings. They were very tall. I got really scared, and then they vanished. And then later on, they came to me in a dream that they are here to work with me. So, keeping that in my mind, okay, I want to see these beautiful beings again, but it wasn't the right time. So moving along, starting school, kindergarten was fine. But when I got into first grade, I had a tough time. At a certain point, I would just start crying, getting upset. And everybody was like, oh my God, it's like clockwork. She starts crying at the same time. And I just felt uncomfortable at a certain time in my classroom. So, moving along the timeline, trying to figure out what I was feeling, what I was going through, I went to a psychic. And she was very nice and understanding, and she broke down the first two levels of my spiritual journey. She said, you had met your spiritual team, but they noticed that you were afraid of them, so they left. And then when you were in school, you had another spiritual experience at a certain time in that classroom. You will get afraid. Something that was not gelling with you. You felt a presence within that classroom. So now it all came together on why that happened in my life at that time. So as I kept going on my journey, I had a moment of knowing something was going to happen, but I didn't know what it was, but it was going to happen. I was at a workshop, and at the time I was working with handicapped children, special needs children, and these workshops was giving us more information on how to work with the children. So when that was over, I pulled up in front of my house and I saw my family standing outside. And something started coming over me, and I'm like, what's going on? So my dad, I pulled up, my dad was standing right there, and he's like, turn off the car. And I'm like, okay. He never said that to me, you know? And I noticed my mom was upset, and it was told that my grandma had passed. And I told him, why you didn't get in contact with me? I could have left the workshop so I could come here and, we could start doing whatever we had to do. But they were like, no, you finish what you have to do, and then we will start to put the plan in motion to get down south and see your grandma for the last time. So going back inside, I decompressed from everything and I just went to sleep. Now, this dream was so vivid that I could feel the calmness, the energy of love, compassion. Everything looked brighter than ever before. The trees were brighter and greener. You could smell the grass. You could feel the sun on your face. I could see the clear water. I could see the koi fish. I could see the goldfish. And I saw this beautiful bridge, the same kind of bridge in Central Park, that white, beautiful bridge. Well, this was beautiful. So I started walking across the bridge until I got to a point where I couldn't go any further. And then I saw my grandma. She was in a beautiful white dress, beautiful gloves, looking sharp. I mean, really fancy. I mean, like, wow, grandma, you're looking good. And she smiled and laughed, and she had the big bouquet of roses. She had red roses, yellow roses, white roses. It was a mixture of beautiful roses. And she was saying, you can't come across the point. You have to stay there. I wanted to be with my grandma. I wanted to go. I just heard that she passed and I'm seeing her here in my dream. I want to be with her. I want to make sure she's okay. I want to make sure that my grandma is good. And then I kept getting pulled back because I couldn't go across that point. So then she told me to stop and listen. She said, I am fine. I am with your granddad, the love of my life. And now you have to go back and do your mission. I know you don't want to be there, but you have to be there. You have to help all the people that need to know about their spiritual gifts. You are going to be an educator, a teacher. You have to do this. And I was like, I don't care. I want to be with you. And she was like, no, you have to do this. Tell everybody I'm fine and you will be a wonderful teacher. And then I woke up. So moving right along on the timeline, we're on our way to South Carolina. We get there safely. I seen how my mom was getting upset, but I calmed her down. And then we got to my aunt's house. We embraced and did what we had to do. And then we went to the funeral home. So at first I was hesitant. I didn't want to go in, but I went in. And she was in a beautiful white casket. And then when I got closer, I freaked out because I saw the same dress she was in, the gloves, how she looked. I seen her so vividly in my dream, and she's in her beautiful white casket. I flipped out and everybody was looking at me thinking I'm having a break. And I'm like, no, I saw her. She has on the same gloves. She has on the same dress. She looks the same where I saw her. I just flipped out. And then they calmed me down and they said, well, you had a vision and you went to see your grandma. And that's a beautiful thing. And I'm like, how is it beautiful? I'm standing there on the White Bridge and I'm talking to her. I mean, I went on and on and on and Ray looked at me like, okay, is she losing it? But no. And this elder, I believe she was saying, you had a beautiful experience. You went to heaven and you saw your grandma. And I was like, I couldn't understand what was going on. And I just regained my composure. And then we had the beautiful service, her homecoming. And still to this day, I still picture her at that white bridge. Moving down the line, I was at a turning point and I gave up teaching because of my health at the time. And I was at the point where if I cannot give my 1,000% energy to my students, then I can't do it anymore. I have to take a step back and I have to get myself back to the way I supposed to be. So I took a long step back and I didn't go back to teaching because my health was not good at the time. And then Christmas time came and I was upset and asking why this is happening to me. I went to other psychics to see what's going on in my life, and they told me some things that was supposed to happen. My twin flame soulmate and I were supposed to be together and having our relationship and our family and having our dynamic, and it didn't happen. And then something happened where I heard a soft voice, trust and believe in him. And I just, again, being stubborn, not want to hear it. Everything that was told to me didn't happen. I didn't get married. I didn't have my children. I didn't have my life. And it really hurt me during the holidays because was something I really wanted. And again, trust and believe in him. And then I was like, okay, I'm just here with the motions, doing what I have to do. And I just turned off. And then I said, you know what? I'm just going to write in my journal, get all this out of me, and then just do what I have to do. So I wrote a letter to Jesus Christ. I said, happy birthday. And I'm sorry I am not celebrating, but I am not seeing my life on what I was told through your people. And I'm trying my best. I did what I have to do. I follow all the steps that I was told that was going to happen. I did it. I did what I had to do. But when it came to having my husband, my children, the home that I want, the dog, I mean, I wanted everything and it didn't happen. So during that time, I received a message and it was so comforting. I can't explain the emotions I felt, but it said, trust in me and you will have what you were told. There are some things that will happen, but you will have the life you were told. And I said, well, all right, I got to go with the flow. So I responded in my journal. I hope you enjoy this moment. I'm sorry that there are those who don't believe in you and you went through a lot during your journey. And I am so sorry for that. If there's anything you want me to do for your birthday, I will do. And then came through and he was very deeply touched on what I said. He said, everybody on this day receives gifts, but they forget about me, my birthday, having a prayer, having a moment. But you took the time and wrote a letter to me saying happy birthday and how you felt about my journey and so on and so forth. And then he was saying, you will create the divine light within you. Now I've written it down and then I put it to the side and I'm like, the divine light within you. Okay. And then I started questioning about podcast. And lo and behold, the divine light within you came to fruition. It's a long journey. And being someone who is not famous, who is a newcomer to this big ocean of wellness and psychic development and everything else, I'm the new kid on the block. I had my doubts, but I didn't give up. I kept going. So now, going on with the journey, I started my own business, which was hard. And I had a client who was going through some things, and she was depressed and she was at her breaking point. So when I came into the picture, it changed. She was happy. She felt a different vibe. It was like I was the light for her, coming and helping her, during her time of need. And she was waiting for an opportunity to move to a different place from where she was at that time. And it didn't fall through. And she was crushed. So then I told her, something is going to come. It's going to be bigger and better than what you were trying to get here in New York. Trust and believe in it. So then we kept moving things and throwing things out that she didn't need anymore until she received a notification that she had a beautiful apartment in Delaware. It had space, it was beautiful, open, and a new beginning for her. And she took it. So, doing the process, helping her pack and putting things in order on how it would be easy for her family to help her get everything out of the apartment and into the truck, and they're on their way. Now, she had someone that needed help and she was like, okay, I'll give him a couple of dollars and he could help me. So when I got back to the apartment and I started helping her and doing the things that she needed assistance with, I walked by his belongings and I felt dread. It just came over me and I didn't know where it came from. It was scary because I didn't know how to interpret this feeling. And she saw how my demeanor changed. So she brought lunch and we sat down and she asked me, what's wrong? I said, who is this stuff belong to? I just get this bad feeling, this bad vibe. She was like, oh, he needed some help and he's going to help me move and, it's going to be okay. I'm like, uh-uh. How is he getting down there with you guys? Is he riding with you or he's riding with the guys in the truck? Oh, he's going to ride with me and my niece. I was like, stop. Do not have this person in your car. There's going to be an accident and it's going to be fatal. Do not have this man in the car with you. Promise me that. She was like, my God, you just changed. And I'm like, yeah, I'm serious about this. And she was like, I'm listening. I'm going to listen to you and I will call you when I get down to Delaware. The trip went down successful. She told him to ride in the truck and she was on her way. They got to the destination. They started to unpack. The family went to go get some food so they could sit down and eat. Unfortunately, that man robbed her, took her phone, took her credit cards, money, her wallet, and fled. The family got back. They notified the police and they said, well, he's probably going back to New York, so contact the authorities in New York. And lo and behold, he was caught. So now, another incident that happened is when my dad was sick. And I was determined to make sure my dad would be around. And then it happened. I had to go take care of something, and I told my dad, I will be back here tomorrow, so you better be here. And 3 o'clock that morning, I got the phone call, and my dad passed. But the thing that I got first before the phone call, I heard my dad saying, bye, I'm out of here, I'm gone. And he just went on and he's with our Heavenly Father. So, what I'm saying to each and every one of you, if you had any kind of experience like I had, embrace it. I just gave you a couple examples of having clairaudient, clairsentient, clair-knowing. And this is part of your journey because there are other clairs out there and I have experienced them. So I want to give you some more information and then I will jump into the whole gist of the Spiritual Awareness Center. There were a couple of times where I could smell roses, tobacco, and there was no roses in the room. Nobody was smoking. There's no cigars, no cigarettes, nothing. But I can literally smell it right in front of me. Then the next spiritual event was tasting something from beyond, so to speak. I didn't have a drink. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't having my grape juice with a kick. I wasn't having my Cabernet Sauvignon. No, I wasn't. I wasn't having anything. But I taste whiskey. And it was a particular whiskey that I had tasted, and it was Jack Daniels. And I'm trying to figure out, well, who in the family drank Jack Daniels? Probably my granddad or my grandpa or any other family members that are up there. They probably had it and they were trying to let me know that they were around. And this came around when my dad passed because I was distraught, I was angry and grieving, all in a bundle of emotions. And at that time, it was the Jack Daniels. And then I could smell Newport. My dad smoked Newport, and I smelled it, and I know he was around. In addition to that, he turned on the Xbox. There was no surge. We got everything like protected surge and all that, and came on. And me and my brother was standing there like home alone. When Kevin was like, we did that. We saw it come on, bring, and we just stood there like in awe. So what I'm trying to bring all together is this. If you had any beautiful spiritual connections with people that passed over or people that are in your ancestry that want to let you know that they are around, but you don't know them, it's it's going to happen and you need to understand the feelings, the sensations, if you had dreams. All of this comes into play when you are starting your spiritual journey. So this is why I created the Divine Light Within You Spiritual Wellness Center. And this is a place for those who are just starting to notice something shifting inside of them. And all is welcome. Whatever level in your spiritual journey you are in, you are all welcome. Now, for those who are starting off, you will have different emotions, different feelings, like a sensitivity that you can explain. Your intuition begins to get stronger than before. You will have more vivid dreams. Your emotions, your energy and awareness that no longer feel normal the way it used to be. No, you're going to feel it. Your body is going to start feeling the energy. You get the goosebumps. You're going to have that electric feeling. Okay. You're going to taste things that you're not even eating anything or drinking anything, but you can actually taste something, or you smell something, or you see something and it comes to pass. You will have those types of experiences like I did. If this is you, you're not losing your mind. Because I thought I had a one-way ticket to Bellevue, and it's not that. Okay? It's not. We're becoming aware. And awareness is the first doorway to understand your spiritual nature. And in this beautiful connection, there is no pressure here, no expectations to already know something, no judgment for asking basic questions. Only have an open heart and an open mind and open space to learn how to understand yourself again, energetically, emotionally, and spiritually. This wellness center is not here to push you into anything. It is here to help you ground into what is already happening within you. Because spiritual awakening is not about becoming someone else. It's about remembering how to listen to yourself again without fear, without confusion, without overwhelm. In this space, we will explore things like what is intuition actually feels like in the body, how to tell the difference between fear and inner knowing, how energy influences your emotions and thoughts, how to stay grounded while becoming more spiritually aware, and how to trust yourself again, slowly and safely. You don't need to rush your understanding here. You don't need to prove anything. You only need to stay open enough to observe yourself with honesty and gentleness. Because the truth is, beautiful souls, your awareness is not a problem to solve. It is a relationship to develop, and you are allowed to take your time with it. So as you enter this space, let that be your intuition, not to become someone new or something new, but to understand what has already been quietly unfolding within you. I welcome each and every one of you to the Divine Light Within You Spiritual Wellness Center. And welcome to the beginning of your inner clarity. So, from me to you, you got this. And we will learn more things throughout this beautiful journey. On the next episode of this series, we will talk about what is happening to me spiritually. We're going to take it step by step so you have the inner and understanding about your beautiful spiritual journey. Until we meet again, take care, God bless, and I appreciate you for allowing me to have this moment with you. Bye bye.